I guess you could consider it a little bit of a basic price pattern here, right? So we're looking for multiple reversal bars, 3 of them to be specific. And then we also want to look at the RSI high points as well. And so this normally evaluating indicator high points can be a little tricky because Bloodhound doesn't track, right, the price points of an indicator. However, in this situation, since we're only dealing with a limited number of bars, right? So in this case, we're looking for a 3 reversal bar, right? So really what we're looking at is there's 4 bars in this pattern, right? So we have the 3 reversal bars and then the bar just prior. So we're dealing with a very limited number of bars, so we can simply count backwards. So when we're looking at the RSI, we can simply count backwards on the indicator, count the number of bars backwards, right, to get these price points on the RSI. So when it's really, so if we're only looking back a couple of bars, right, and the number of bars never changes, so that's another thing that's unique about this situation here, is we're looking for a 3-bar reversal pattern. So the number of bars is never going to change. So therefore we can, so therefore when we're looking back at the RSI, the number of bars we're looking back never changes either, right? But, if you're dealing with some kind of a price pattern, that can have some variability in it, whereas the number of bars might change from maybe, 4 bars to maybe 5 bars sometimes, or maybe 6 bars sometimes. If there's any fluctuation, in the number of bars, then doing this look back kind of pattern wouldn't be possible with Bloodhound. You would need another indicator that would track these high prices or low prices, right, of the RSI indicator so that Bloodhound has a reference point. All right, so I found our 3-bar reversal. It's just in a up direction instead of a down direction. And checking the RSI, there we go. I think that would be it. So these low points in the RSI. Okay, good. So there we go. Got one spot to work with right there. All right, so we are looking to generate buy signal there on the up bar here. Minimize this, and let's get Bloodhound open here, and we'll get things started here. All right, so first thing you want to do, right, when you start building up, some Bloodhound, start working with Bloodhound here, is you want to put a file name in. So we'll use the change button there, and there. Let me use last week's workshop and just put in today's date. Okay, all right, there we go. So there's today's workshop file. And next, I'm going to click on the logic tab here, and so we can start working on the logic board. All right, and the next thing, we need to create a new logic template here. And let's see, what should we call this here? All right, something like that. There we go. So Renko bar reversals with an RSI confirmation. So we're looking at I think looking at the bar pattern is going to be the easiest thing to start with here. So let's start with an inflection solver. And so with the inflection solver, right, basically what's an inflection? An inflection on a chart is a change in direction, right? And so charts can only change up or down, right? It's the only direction a chart can change is up or down. So there is no left or right changing in a chart. So an inflection is basically just reversing up or reversing down when it comes to a chart. So, we're going to put change the input type to price. So that way we can look whenever price is reversing direction. Right, so there we go. there. So we can see on on the bar that we're expecting a signal, right? We're getting a long output there. So this solver is basically going to be for the signal bar there. And let me name this here first. All right, so this solver is going to be for the signal bar, looking at that. And then next, we're going to look at the next bar back here. And so grab another inflection solver, connect that in there. And again, I'm going to set this to price. But this time, let's see here, we want to reverse the output. So if we look at the outputs, right, normally we're going to look at, we're going to look at the slope of the inflection, right, in the direction. So in other words, when price reverses down, right, we get a short. When price reverses up, so that would be, in the direction, right? So the output is in the direction of, of the data that's being looked at. So, but we want to use against direction here. And so that's basically going to reverse our output, right? So here we go. So here's a down bar, but now it's giving us a long output, right? And so we need this long output because we're expecting a long signal here. And, so now the next thing we want to do is adjust our look back period of the price bars. So we're going to set that to 2. And so what that does is if we're on this bar, and actually it's going to be, I guess when we're looking at things, it's a little helpful. There we go. If we put our signal bar on the edge of the chart. So what we're doing, right, is so this is the bar, right, the most current bar. So we'll just pretend like our signal bar is the most current bar. So what we need to do, right, is look back 1 bar. So we're looking back at this inflection down, but effectively what that does is it moves the signal forward onto the signal bar. So always keep in mind that solvers, right, are always working on the most current bar, right, on the most recent bar that's closed. So if you need to look backwards in time, using a look back period, allows you to look backwards in time. But what's effectively doing is even though you're looking back in time, you're taking what's happened backwards in time, but effectively pulling it forward onto the current bar. There. So in other words, so we took this inflection down, or this reversal down, right? We reversed the output so it was long, and then moved it forward onto the current bar. So this long signal actually came from this down bar, right? But I just adjusted my look back period to 2. So that way we're looking back 2 bars. All right, so this solver, let's see here. I'll use programmer's technique here. Put that, say bar 1. Bar, so if this number was 0, with that would be the current bar. In programming terms, if we're looking at a bar with a number 1, that means we're looking 1 bar back. So you guys might see, text written where people will say the close and then put in brackets, a number 1 or a number 0 or a number 2. So that just means you're looking at the closing price of the bar, so many bars back. So anyway, so there's that solver. And I need 1 more inflection solver here. So let's grab another one, connect that in. And let's name this again. So this is going to be looking at a reversal 2 bars back. There we go. So again, we're just going to change the input type to price again. This time we need to look, well, actually first, before we change our look back period, so we're now looking at this reversal bar back here, right? So we've done an inflection solver for the signal bar. We've done one for 1 bar back, and now we need to do one for 2 bars back. And so we're getting a long output here. So remember, we're looking for a long signal on the signal bar. So when we're looking for this bar reversal here, we're looking for a long output. So all the conditions that we're looking for backwards in time, all those conditions, they all, so the solvers all have to be set up so that they provide a long output, because we're building a long signal here. We're expecting a long signal. So all these solvers that we're building, need to have a long output as we're building these conditions here, because we're looking for a long signal. And so looking at this inflection up, yep, right, it's a long signal. So therefore we don't have to change the output like we did with the second solver there. Right, so no changes to this, but we do need to change our look back like so. Right, so there we go. So we took this, the signal from this second bar back, and now it's on the signal bar. Right? And actually, if I slide the chart forward, right, there we go. We can see we got the short and then the long again, right? And so this short and this long came from, right, these bars back here. Okay, so there is, let's see, our 3 reversal patterns. And so next, if we use an AND node, there we go. So let's connect all these into an AND node. Connect that up. So now, there is our 3-bar reversal pattern identified for us. Let's stretch this out a little bit. And, oh, there we go. All right, good. So there's a short right there. So let's signal or circle that, sorry. And there. All right, so next we just need to confirm this Rsi pattern as well, like so. There. And, we might want to, add some more filtering here because, we can see here, right, we're getting some kind of random signals here. So I guess, before we go further, let's filter out, these signals here. Let's see here. So basically we have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we have 5 reversal bars there. Let's see here. So this is kind of where you need to be a little creative to come up with some filtering techniques. And I think this a simple way we can do this is right, basically before the 3 reversals, right, we're getting, so if it's a long signal here, we're getting down bars. So we can just simply look for a down bar, right, 4 bars back, or I'm sorry, 3 bars back. Yeah, so the signal bar, then go 1 bar, 2 bars, 3 bars, and that's going to be a down bar. Let's see, how is that going to differ here? 1, 2, let's see. Let's see. No, that's not going to work. So I'm looking right here. So this long signal, if we look 3 bars back, 1, 2, 3, well, that is a down bar. So let's try this. Let's look for 2 down bars in a row. So we're looking for 2 down bars in a row or 2 up bars in a row as our filter. Yeah, we'll give that a shot. See how that works out. So let's grab a bar direction solver and we'll connect that up. So we are going to be looking for 2 bars right in the same direction here. So to set that up, so the number of bars, we just set that to 2. And so looking back, so we know that we had, actually here, let's take a look at our signals again. Yeah, let's mark some of these. There we go. All right, so now we have our 3 reversal bar pattern marked. So now let's take a look at the bar direction solver. right? So here, our bar direction, so we can see that the first bar in any given direction, right, there's no output, but once we get to the second bar, and afterwards, we can see we're getting an output here. But if you notice, right, we're looking for a long signal, but our bars are down bars, but we're looking for a long signal. So we need to reverse this output here. And let's see here. And yeah, so the bar direction doesn't actually have a reversal output. So we can simply use our long short modifier to do that for us. So let's connect that up. Connect that up. There. So there we go. Down bars are now, with down bars, we're now getting a long output. And vice versa. Up bars are now giving us a short output. So the long short modifier, we're just using the default mode here of swap, right? So we're swapping the signals around. So, and what I like to do is rename the solver to tell me what mode it's in. So there we go. So I know this long short modifier is swapping the outputs here. So let's connect this up. And let's go back to, there we go, this area here that we're trying to clean up. And so I can now take this, connect it into the AND node. Oh, one last thing. We need to, yeah. So we need to take this output here and, well, specifically, we need to take the output on, right, on this last down bar, and we need to shift it forward onto the signal bar. All right, so we need to go 1, 2, 3 bars. And so we're going to take a look at the bar direction settings here. And we see we have this start bars ago. So if we set that to 3, I believe, there we go. So basically, the start bars ago is kind of like a looking back. It's a way to look back in time. So there we go. So the signal that was on this down bar, so we shifted the output from these down bars, shifted it forward onto the signal bar like that. So now everything should work. There we go. So now we have our signals. And over here, let's see here. Yeah, so this signal is actually still valid. Yeah, still valid. At least, there's nothing in this screenshot that, says, look, make sure there's a continuation bar. But, if you wanted to, this could be modified to make sure. So like, for example, here, you could make sure that there's a continuation bar afterwards, before generating the signal. So yeah, I won't do that here since that's not what was asked. But we did clear up those extra signals there. Okay, now the next part will be to look at the RSI. And now we can see here the RSI. And let's see, I'll mark this. Let's change this to red or something. So the RSI is actually going lower. So the RSI fails right here. And the RSI looks like it fails right there because it looks like it went a little lower. Whereas it looks like we did get a good RSI right there. And let's see. Yeah, it looks like we did get a lower RSI there. So it looks like those two are okay. Let's see. Yeah, well, that one's okay. And this RSI is okay. There. All right. So to look at the RSI, let's stretch this up here a little bit. We're going to be using the comparison solver. And so what we're going to do is we're going to look one bar back and get the RSI value there. So again, think of our anchor point is always going to be the signal bar. So from the signal bar, we need to look back 1 bar to get the RSI value. And then also to get the other RSI value, we're going to look back 3 bars. Yeah, 3 bars back. So again, since this look back, since the number of bars that we're looking back never changes, that's how we're able to do this in Bloodhound without needing an indicator to track these kind of, I guess you could say, swing low prices on the indicator, right? So as long as our look back period never changes, we can do this comparison within Bloodhound. But if your number of look back bars changes, if it can fluctuate, then you would need an indicator that would actually track these low points on the indicator, track it for Bloodhound. So since the look back is not changing, we can then use a comparison solver to compare those RSI values. So let's grab this and let's connect that up there. And let's see, let's come up with a name here. So this is going to be RSI 1 compared to the RSI 3, or 3 bars back, basically. All right, so input A, that will be our, grab a little diamond. All right, there we go. So input A, that's going to be our most recent RSI value. So let's go change the indicator over to the RSI. All right, and I'm just using the default period for the RSI. So always remember, if you're using a custom, period for your RSI, make sure you change it in Bloodhound so it matches what you have on the chart. All right, so there's that. And now to look back, we're going to use the displacement. So so when it comes to indicators, it's called a displacement. And so for input B, our displacement is going to be 3 for the indicator, right? Because we're looking back 3 bars. And so let's switch over the indicator for input B. All right, there's the RSI. And again, change your period again if necessary. And we're just using the RSI plot, and that's already selected for us. So we're good there. And there we go. All right. And what we're looking at, right, we're looking for the output, right, the Bloodhound output on the signal bar, right? Now, of course, this comparison solver, it's doing comparisons for every single bar, right? So we're always going to get some kind of an output here. So if your solvers are giving you this kind of output, what you want to focus on is the output that you're getting on the signal bar. And so we can see we're getting a long output here on Bloodhound. So let's put this down here. There we go. So Bloodhound's giving us a long output on the signal bar here. All right. So let's take a look back here. Yeah, so here we go. So we had this, so here's one of our down signals. And so Bloodhound, let's grab another diamond, there we go, is giving us a short output, right, on the signal bar because the RSIs were going down. So we know that's correct. Let's scroll back a little bit here. Yeah, here we go. So remember, here, let me make an adjustment there. There we go. So here we can see the RSIs, right, these swing lows on the RSI went down. And so on our signal bar here, right, we're expecting a long output. But as we can see, Bloodhound gave us a short output. So therefore, this signal, fails or gets blocked. So let's take a look at the AND node here. And so if we take this solver and connect it in, there we go, right? The signal goes away, right? Because if we look at this solver, right, there is no long output, right? There is no long output on the bar there. It was a short output. So there we go. And same thing with this long, right? Again, the RSA failed us, and so that signal went away as well. All right, so let's, I'm going to go scroll back through on the chart here. Let's take a look. Yep. That looks correct. Here we go. There's a long, and yep, the RSI looks correct. And let's see, yeah, the RSI did go down. That looks correct. Oh, wait, actually, hold on. Sorry. We are looking at that. There we go. We're looking at the tops of the RSA. Okay. And again, looking at the tops of the RSIs. There we go. All right. So that would be the first pattern there. Okay, yeah, so this one is done. So next, let's take a look at this second pattern here. So let's see. All right, so we're still looking for 3 reversal bars, except we have a at least one continuation bar in between or just prior to the last reversal there. So it's pretty close. Yeah, pattern's pretty close, but a little different. So let me see if I can find that pattern on the chart. Yeah, I gotta say, without Bloodhound signals, it could be a little tough trying to find these patterns. No, not quite. There. Okay, I think I found one right there. Okay, so we have 1 reversal bar, 2 reversal bars, a continuation bar, and then the final reversal bar down. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so I think that's 1, at least 1. All right, well, I'm just gonna go with this one because these are a little hard to find. Let's see. So the beginning of the pattern here, right? So the beginning of our pattern is the same here, right? We're looking for some, continuation bar. Well, basically bars in the same direction, and then we get a reversal and then another reversal. So the beginning of the pattern is very similar. Actually, I don't think. Yeah, I was thinking or kind of hoping that we could use our inflection solvers that we used previously, but we really can't because this continuation bar right here in the middle of the pattern, right, it changes the number of look back bars. So actually these reversal bars here, let's do this. So this is a second bar back and a third bar back. So it's different. The number of bars we're looking back is different than what we're using here. So we will need, to make some new solvers to do this. Actually, even our bar direction solver here won't work for us either because the start bars to go is different. So let's see, we're looking 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So these bars in the same direction are actually 4 bars back, not 3 bars back. Yeah, so a lot of this, we're going to start from scratch. The one thing we can use is the reversal, right, the inflection on the signal bar. So this is the one solver that we can actually use again. So let's grab that one here, right? So I can go to my existing nodes and put this on here twice there. I'll move this down like so. Let's see. So next, let's look for this continuation bar here. So we'll look for the next bar back is the continuation bar. And so basically that's just going to be 2 bars, right? 2 bars in a row. So let's grab a bar direction, connect that in. There we go. So we're looking for 2 bars in the same direction. Change that to 2. Right, so there we go. So on the second, right, so the reversal bar is the first up bar, and then on the second up bar, there's our output there. However, keep in mind again, we're looking for a short signal, so we need to reverse this output here. So let's grab another function node here, move that down here, and just like we did before, we're using the swap mode. So let's rename this. There we go, swap mode. All right, there we go. So now it's a short output for this up bar. And now we need to take the short output and shift it forward onto the signal bar. Shift it forward on the signal bar there. And again, if we go back to our bar direction, we can use the start bar as a go to shift the signal forward. So we're basically, this continuation bar is 1 bar back. So there we go. So we want to start counting from 1 bar ago. And so there we go. So there's the short output on our signal bar now. All right, so there's that continuation bar component found. So next we need to look for this reversal bar here. So let's grab another inflection solver. All right, and so we'll switch the type over to price again. And this is going to be, so there's the signal bar. So we're looking 1, 2, 2 bars back. And keep in mind that a look back period always starts with 1, right? So the signal bar is always 1. So we're going to go 2 and 3. So we need to change our look back period to 3, like so. So there we go. We shifted it. But remember, this is a reversal up bar, but we're trying to generate a short signal. So we need to, again, reverse the output here. So we're going to use slope against direction. Use that output. There we go. So there is our short signal right there, coming from this reversal up bar. Right. So we took that, the output from the reversal up, shifted it forward onto the signal bar using our look back period. All right, so that, let's see here. So that is 3 bars back. And we are reversing the signal there. So I'll just put a little note in there. There. And I should probably do the same thing over here. I remember one of these inflection solvers also was reversing the output. Yeah, there we go. This one here. We're using the slope against direction to reverse the output. So we'll just make a little note of that in the name there. All right, there we go. So now we know that this inflection solver, right, it is not reversing the output, and neither is this inflection solver. It's not reversing the output there. So, all right, so there is so that is our reversal bar back here. All right, so we need to look back another bar to get this reversal bar. So let's grab another inflection solver, connect that in. Let's give this a name. So now we are looking 4 bars back. And okay, so let's change the input to price, change our look back to 5. Because remember, your look back period, you're always adding one extra. So a look back period starts at 1, whereas a displacement, so let's see, let's go back to this comparison solver. Remember, so the comparison solver is looking at the RSI and it has a displacement. So displacements start at 0, where look back periods start at 1. Okay, so getting back to our inflection solver. Oh, actually, I did go too far back. Yeah, sorry, I actually, let's see here. Oh, yeah, I added an extra number on my name here. So actually, this would be bar 3. And so this solver would be bar 2. There we go. So let's correct those names there. All right. So I know I went a little fast here. So I mean, we can see that we're getting a short output on the signal bar. So I know it's correct. But just to take a step back here, let me put the look back period, set that back to 1 again, so we can just make sure. Right, so there we go. So we have our reversal down bar, and it's giving us a short output, of course, and then the next is a reversal up bar. So there we go. So we need to take this short output from the reversal down and shift it forward onto the signal bar. There. So that's why we took the look back period and set it to 4. There. All right. And last step is we now need to look for these continuation bars, right? Basically bars going in the same direction here, which is what we did earlier, right? So remember these guys up here, we're also looking for, you know, at least 2 bars in the same direction prior to all the reversal bars. So we're going to do the same thing again. Let's grab a bar direction. All right, we're looking for at least 2 bars in the same direction, like so. And then now we need to count how many bars forward do we need to shift this, right? So, and so look back, a start bars ago starts with 0, all right? So the signal bar is going to be 0, and then 1 bar back is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's put a 4 in there. And so there we go. So these up bars, right? These up bars are going to give us a long output. So now there we go. So we have the long output shifted forward onto the signal bar, but we need to reverse the output because we're looking for a short signal. So again, let's grab another long short modifier so we can reverse the output. And as before, we're just using the swap mode, which is the default there. And so here we go. So now, right, all of these up bars were reversed into a short output. And so there's our short output on the signal bar. Okay. So now the last step, right? Assuming we got everything right, assuming, you know, we counted back the correct number of bars on all these solvers, then once we connect everything into an AND node, we should get our signal. Okay, so let's start connecting everything up. And let's see, there is our short signal. All right. And let's see if we have some more. Yes. All right, there's a long signal, long. Yeah, let me pull up that screenshot, make sure it matches. Okay, so we have some down bars. And yes, we have some down bars. Let's see. No, there we go. So we have some down bars, then a reversal up, then a reversal down, and then a continuation down, and then a reversal up. Okay, great. Yep. So as far as the bar patterns, that's correct. And the RSI, we're looking for the RSI to go higher. And yeah, it doesn't look like that doesn't happen here. That to that point. Yeah, so in this case, the RSI actually failed. So So that actually was a failure in the RSI, but the bar pattern, we found that. Let's see here. I think this one, this prior one, yeah, that RSI looked like it went higher. So good. All right. So let's add the RSI component to this. Again, we're not able to use the comparison solver, right? The RSI comparison solver that we built prior, because again, the number of bars that we're counting backwards or looking back is different. So if we zoom in here, the first RSI point, let me grab a little diamond here. Yeah, so the first one, this is 1 bar back, but this point back here is actually going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 bars back. Yeah, so we're having to count an extra bar back, whereas our comparison solver, it was counting back 3 bars, not 4 bars. So we can't use this one, but what we can do is, right, so I switched over to my solvers tab, and I'm going to select that comparison solver, make a copy of it. So here's the copy of it, and I want to modify it, make a new one here, modify it so that it looks back 4 bars, right? So as we counted here from the signal bar, we're going 1, 2, 3, 4 bars back to get our RSI value. And so we'll just change that displacement to 4 as well. Let's see here. Now 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. Okay. Yes. There. All right. So we have our new RSI comparison solver built. So let's switch back over to the logic board, go to our existing nodes, and then go down. So at the bottom of the list, there's that new solver for comparison solver. Just drop it on the board, and then connect that up and see if everything works. There. All right. So yeah, this signal went away because our RSI, right, went in the wrong direction. So good. This signal still remains, and we know the RSI is going in the right direction. So good. That's good. Let's see here. All right. So this signal that we were originally working on, it's still here, and let's see. Yeah, looking at the RSI, it does go down ever so slightly, like so. All right. All right, so let me go back to the beginning of the chart here and kind of scan backwards. Interesting. I'm not sure the RSI. Let's check the RSI values here. So that is 62.57. Oh yeah, 62.63. 62.71. Okay, yeah, so the RSI is going down ever so slightly. So, yep, that is correct. Okay. And let's see here. So we had some up bars. Then we got first reversal, second reversal, continuation, and then the final reversal for a signal. And interesting, yeah, the pattern just kind of repeated itself twice. All right. There we go. And let's see, up bars, first reversal, second reversal, continuation bar, last third reversal. And let's see. Yep, and that RSI went down ever so slightly. Yeah, I can see, yeah, this RSI definitely went down. And so we have some up bars, then a reversal, first reversal, second reversal, continuation, and third reversal for the signal. All right. And we know that one's good. All right, so we have some down bars, first reversal, second reversal, continuation, and the third reversal. And that RSI is definitely going up. Okay, so good. All right, I think we have it. So let's minimize that. And so one last step here. All right, so we have basically two types of signals here. And so if we want to see both of these signals together, we can grab a OR node. There we go. And connect both of these into the OR node, like so. Move that stuff around. So now, all right, there we go. So now we see all the signals. Yeah, so there's the second signal. This is the first signal type, or the first pattern. This was the second pattern type. There we go. We know, okay, this was the second pattern type. This one, yep, also looks like the second pattern type, you know, which has the extra continuation bar in it. And let's see here. This is the first pattern. And that was the first pattern. That looks like the second pattern. This looks like the first pattern. So there. All right, I think we're done there.